captain of this team, a person that Dan Campbell called the quarterback of this defense, Tracy Walker, is out for the season.
He is the emotional heartbeat of that defense. It is an astronomical loss.
I mean, you can just utilize him in so many ways.
Now you got who? Maybe they go out and get somebody. It's going to be tough without Tracy Walker back there.
Moving on to the future, things to be concerned about, or maybe not. I haven't heard your take on this one yet, but if you guys didn't know, captain of this team, one of the leaders in the backfield, a person that Dan Campbell called the quarterback of this defense, Tracy Walker, is out for the season due to the Achilles injury he suffered in yesterday's loss to the Minnesota Vikings. Spinny, what does this mean for the team? How do they replace him? Where you at with this one? I know you love some Tracy Walker, man. You've always loved him since last year.
Yeah, I've really loved Tracy Walker. He is the emotional heartbeat of that defense. He is the play caller of that defense. Dan Campbell called him one of the smartest guys they have out there. You know, he is a guy that in situations he makes the right play. He is the bell cow for that defense. And losing him for the rest of the year is a huge loss. It is an astronomical loss. This is something that they're going to have to scheme for every single week. Because when you had him out there, you had a guy that was a mistake corrector. He was an eraser for that defense. And now you've got who they talked about, you know, they had Juju Hughes out there who went out there, had 8 tackles. Dan Campbell said he was like, he performed better than I expected him to. Being thrust into that position and having to make plays, he performed better. You got Juju Hughes. You got Ife Melifonwu. You got the draft pick Kirby Joseph. They even talked about moving Will Harris back to safety.
Yeah.
Dan Campbell said he didn't want to do that because he likes where Will Harris is at now. But he said it's not, nothing's off the table.
Will Harris is awful at safety, so I understand why he's like,
I understand why he doesn't want to do it as well. But, man, I'd like to see Iffy. I'd like to see Iffy back there getting some shine because Iffy is a big guy. He's got ball skills. He can make plays. He's a sure tackler. I'd like to see Iffy out there. But, man, it is going to take a lot out of Aaron Glenn and Aubrey Pleasant to scheme every week without having arguably their best player on defense for the rest of the year.
Definitely like the most you can just utilize him so many ways. Like I'm saying, he's an all-around tool. Like obviously he's decent in coverage. He's great on the blitz. He's great at just recognizing things. He's great when he makes contact with the football carrier. Like Tracy was everything you want to be in the NFL as an NFL player. He was a captain. He was a leader. There's a play call on the defense, like you said, and it sucks. It does suck. I have the options here too. Yeah, Kirby, Iffy, which are very much in the developmental stage of becoming NFL safeties in themselves. Iffy's a former, cornerback turned safety. Kirby is just, coming in the NFL as a safety. Yeah. You're not only asking these guys to play the safety position, but in the Detroit Lions defense specifically, again, they are the play callers. They are the brains of the operation. It sucks. I mean, I think the Sean Elliott, that's one thing I said this in the beginning of the year too. I'm saying they kind of play like a similar role where they're kind of just smacking the ball carrier and play a little bit of this, a little bit of that. They're not we run a 4-2 defense. You need that type of guy. The guy kind of utilizes everything.
Sean Elliott played well.
Sean Elliott was smacking him. He's been smacking him all year once he gets there and makes contact. But on the big boys too. There's a couple nice ones there.
Yeah, he cracked Justin Jefferson.
I think the name to emerge out of this situation, I agree with you. I'd say probably Ife Melifonwu. Ever since the day we drafted him, obviously big body corner. I remember when we went to practice out there, and you're like, "Yo, who's that? Who's that big guy?"
Yeah.
And I was like, "I told you, bro. That's Iffy. That's Iffy out there." I'm saying I think Iffy's got. This is a fan of me saying this. I have no X and O's reasons to give you this, but buy it if you want to. Cam Chancellor. And I'm not even in terms just smacking guys, but just big body guy. I quite clearly can play coverage. Former cornerback. We saw him, play pretty well against the Green Bay Packers last year, and that's Aaron Rodgers with his best weapon, Devontae Adams, until he got cooked by Aaron Rodgers and his Devontae Adams. But it's Aaron Rodgers, Devontae Adams. You're saying that happens against the best. So if he's probably the guy I'm hoping that could come out of it, I know that he's just coming off of his hamstring injury that he's been battling with all throughout camp. I mean, he literally just got back to practice last week, and again, he's very much in the developmental stage of becoming an NFL safety. So it's not a good situation at all. I guess there's some encouragement, though, from Deshaun Elliott. But, no, man, we're definitely going to miss Tracy, just like we miss, I believe, John Kaminsky yesterday, too. But my front runner pick would be would be iffy. Just having the NFL experience. I mean, and don't get me wrong, I think Kirby can be dope, but we had this discussion with Scott as soon as he was drafted. Very much in the development stage.
Yeah, he's going to take some time. They even said it. They said it when they drafted him. Brad Holmes said, it's going to take some time before he's ready back there. He is a ball hawk. He is a guy. I saw him play at at Illinois. He is a good player. He can go out there and make plays. He has a knack for getting to the football. But dude, Tracy Walker, man, I feel bad for the guy, man. He just had one of the best days of his life.
Yeah.
The day before with the birth of his child.
Yeah.
And then goes out there and has one of the worst in a season-ending injury, a season-ending Achilles injury.
Do you think there's any negligence by just I mean, I get he had the son. You give him the week off, a couple days off. Do you think the Achilles, is it possible it happened because it wasn't worked out throughout the week? Or he wasn't as well prepared or stretched out for the game because he kind of just been chilling at the crib with the baby?
I don't want to put anything like that out there. I think he had himself in shape to play. He was ready to play. I'm not sure if an Achilles tear or pop, is that a stress injury? Is that something, or like you said, that can happen from not being ready? But I'm not going to put anything like that out there. All I know is they're going to have to do a lot to make sure they make up for that. And maybe they go out and get somebody. Maybe they go out there and see who's available.
Yeah.
Maybe they give a call to Eric Weddle. I know you came back for the Super Bowl run last year.
Comes for the playoffs.
Yeah, but it's but not Eric Weddle, jokingly, but you see who's available at that safety position because
I guess
that's tough, man. All year, Achilles gone. That might bleed into next year. We see what's going on with Romeo.
With that one though, again, it's it's a different position. You know what I'm saying? You're more explosive and trying to push the body back on the defensive line versus, being out in coverage as a safety or a corner.
We will have Jerry Jacobs back next week, though.
Yes, and I am excited about that because your boy, Ermanni, was getting cooked any and everywhere.
Yeah,
and I don't know if it was the back injury, and to the point that Joey said, who's worse, Aaron Glenn for keeping him in there, or Ermanni just for being terrible?
He was getting too handsy at the top of routes for sure.
And that's something he spoke to after the media with our girl, Madam Miller. He spoke to, that's just who I am. So that's who I am as a player. That's just, I'm playing my game. It just happens to be. And that happens. There's flags on every single play.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Anything could almost be called on any play. It's just to the ref's discretion at that point. Clearly yesterday they were picking on Ermanni and they weren't fans of it. It's crazy because I feel like Jeff Kuda was he's at the top of routes doing it, though. That's fair, too. But, refs were all over that. And not only was he getting cooked, though, by the referees, but in coverage as well. Adam Thielen was cooking him. There was points, the tight end that nobody knew, who had a couple catches, on Ermanni.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go ahead and blame a little of that on the back injury because, that's just super, uncharacteristic. Obviously, we've had this guy on this team for quite some time. I think he's a fifth-round pick, turned starter, so, he's been pretty decent for us. We've never seen anything like that out of Ermanni Warrior. It's super uncharacteristic. Can we still, beat him up over it? Yeah, he had 6 penalties, bud. 6.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
6.
I'm not, that was a bad game. That was a very bad game. And he'll be the first one to say it. So I'm not, I'm not pulling for him or saying, oh, it's not his fault. It was your fault. You're getting too handsy at the top of routes, at the top of, breaks, and that's what happens. There were some kind of, come on, man, calls.
Yeah.
Where it's call him on the other side, too.
Oh, my God. The one that we had in the red zone that got called on Hughes.
Yeah.
But then the very next drive, on our offensive drive, we saw the exact amount of contact, in my opinion, damn near similar-ass route, similar-ass amount of contact on Hicks, their linebacker.
Mm-hmm.
We trying to go to Amon-Ra, or maybe it was TJ. There was no cause. Come on, dog. That's stuff like that's annoying, but
home cooking. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I mean, maybe.
I'm not blaming anything like that.
I'm not. We had an opportunity to win the game.
We had an opportunity.
We're up 10 in the fourth quarter, no excuses.
But, man, Tracy, especially next week, although Geno Smith is not a world beater, he is not, this big-arm quarterback.
Yeah.
You're going up against DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett.
Yeah.
That is one of the best wide receiver duos in the NFL. Even if you don't have a fantastic quarterback, those are two guys that can beat you on any play. And it's going to be tough without Tracy Walker back there.
No, 100%. Tracy Walker, we're definitely going to miss him more so as a leader than anything else. I mean, a player too, man. He, like I said, he was a tool to be used in any kind of way. He was the one guy that got the sack on Jalen Hurts. It definitely sucks. I think hopefully what emerges, I mean, next man up mentality, that's just how the NFL goes. That's the mantra of this team, Dan Campbell and Ben Johnson said. So hopefully, if he's what we think he can be, hopefully Kirby's what we think he can be. But I just think there's going to be a little bit of time before they become that. But I also think that Aaron Glenn's aware of, I guess what he has. I think he tailors the defense to what he has in his players. You clearly saw us, switch our entire defense around from last year 3-4 to now the 4-3, 4-2 lineup now. So I think Aaron Glenn's bright in that way where he's gonna utilize what he has to their strengths. So maybe we see the defense change up a little bit. And maybe it benefits because we have a guy who's more prone to being good in coverage with Iffy. We have a guy who's more prone to making plays in the ball in Kirby. So maybe the defense then becomes tailored around them and their strengths.